Yeah. I had enough of this manipulation, Slovenian lies. Manipulating absolutely everything, whatever is possible to manipulate. And therefore I decided I am going to do the Slovenian anthem by myself. I'm not happy with translation of the Wikipedia about Slovenian anthem. Truly disappointing. Let's go to the English section of the so-called ZDRAVLJICA. ZDRAVLJICA is, they say in English, they say toast. They say toast. Maybe, but this is not really a toast. This was translation of the Slovenian language done literally by now known as King Charles, who used to wander to Slovenia to alcoholize himself. Not only to Slovenia, but also other parts of ex-Yugoslavia. The alcoholism. This guy here, whom you can hear swallowing down and Andrew was worse than that, but this one here with the Milan Kuchen made it public that that's the way it is, that's the way it shall be. So this is not a toast. Toast in Slovenian, if you would translate a toast in Slovenian, that would be, you would say na zdravje. Na zdravje means to health. V slovenskem knjižnem jeziku, na zdravje. It would translate in English, it would translate to cheers, 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 cheers. But this here, this is dedicated to, I'm going to explain to you what this is dedicated, literally what this is dedicated, and I don't have to translate you what exactly this was translated to me. I'm sure you can make the sense out of this verses, satanic verses. If you were in my situation, would see them as a satanic, especially if they translate this to you in your face, that you are a Lucifer, that you are a Satan, and so on and so forth. Then you would understand quickly about what could possibly be made out of this song, what somebody could tell you, because I'm not going to go into it. It's like reviving a rape, and the rape would not go for 1 year, but would go for 24 hours, 7 days a week, for straight 11 years. I'm not going to be going and doing that kind of stuff. It's a national anthem of Slovenia. The national anthem of Slovenia, one of the verses of ZDRAVLJICA, they relate this, and they are grateful to me for me to deliver on the picture Prince Charles. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have any kind of problem with it, delivering Prince Charles on it, because Slovenia, all it is about Slovenia, in Slovenia, they'll do anything, they'll do any kind of crime in Slovenia, as long as they have protectoratum, as long as they have protectors from the outside of the state, as long as they have the foreign politicians, as long as they have alibi for the crime, there is absolutely no fucking problem. Anything goes in Slovenia. That's one of the things about Slovenia. So, the more the Prince Charles von der Leyen, etc., etc., the better off for Slovenia. That's how they see it. They don't care. It's like a criminal that is on the run and will use absolutely any kind of criminal circumstances to protect his well-being. And in between, it doesn't matter. So this is the beginning already. It's kind of funny because British royals especially caused a lot of evil to this world. They burned this world time and again. They enslaved this world time and again. They killed numerous through Asia, through Africa, colonized people, enslaved people. So this is already, from this point of view, from my point of view, my associating it with Prince Charles, with the Buckingham Palace, with British royals who were coming to Slovenia to so proudly load themselves with the alcohol in front of me, who I have religiously rejected one. I rejected one on religious basis. Do you understand? Religious basis. I religiously, like religious, like whatever is your religion, religiously rejected alcohol. And British royals felt good about it. They felt good about coming here and doing it right in front of me with, what do you want to call this? Enemies of the state? I do not know. Maybe they are friends of the state. To what you refer to Britain in as communists, as Stalinists, etc., etc. Maybe they are friends of the state. Maybe we should consider this as a friends of the state. After all, times have changed, and I wrote you a blog about Prince Charles demanding from me to view one also as a communist. He demanded from people also to acknowledge him as a communist. So whatever way you want to see it, that's fine with me, because this is not what this is all about. This is about my case. But I'm going to give you a translation of this ZDRAVLJICA here, national anthem of Slovenia. So it's very cheap, with associating it with a Carmen. Figuratum is a poet that has a certain shape of pattern formed either by blah 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 blah. 19th century romantic Slovene poet France Prešeren, this is the guy here, with whom Robert Golob was comparing to in respect to the haircut. Robert Golob demanded from me to see in him France Prešeren because of the haircut. Because of the Robert Golob's haircut. Very proud about his haircut, and he called one Prešeren haircut. So this is a young France Prešeren. This one here, he demanded from me to see in him a poet, France Prešeren poet, a Slovenian, Slovenski, Slovenia, to je to. That's the beginning of the Slovenian anthem and of the Slovenian hysteria, which tried its best to market globally its anthem as something, wow, you know, we have an anthem, wow, we praise, we cheer all the nations around the world, and we hate the devil. Then they have a national symbol in Slovenia, a flag, a coat of arms, for which they don't mention anywhere it's identical to the Russian flag. Actually, it's a copy of the Russian flag. They'll talk to you about the Carmen. I don't know what they're going to talk to you about when it comes to the anthem, but Slovenia does not tell that this is actually a copy of the Ruski flag. This is a copy of the Russian flag. That's what this is. Just so that we make ourselves clear that Slovenia is using literally a copy of the Russian flag. This is like a little bit more toward the truth about my case. And a very cheap gesturing. Historically, the national anthem from 1860 until the beginning of the 1990 was Naprej zastava slave, forward a flag of glory, the first ever piece of Slovene literature to be translated into English. The words of the current Slovene national anthem, this is another popular song. It was not popular anymore enough because obviously of my case was so lucrative for Slovenia, who started to preach. The communists started to preach about the devil, about the Satan, and about the friends, about the glory, about the freedom, free nations, through the public lynching, that it became a global sensation. The corruption was extremely tempting. I hope you do understand that what started with the Slovenian police, with the Belgrade, with the Serbian police in Yugoslavia, which physically enforced crime, right? It was a police officer that physically enforced crime, was used to physically enforce corruption, basically demand from people to leave the ethics behind and settle for the crime instead. So what is this closer to, if I ask you? Is it closer you go torture a baby? Is this closer to the Luciferism, Satanism, or is it closer to the God? MK without a doubt is a play straight out of the Satanist book. And the one who performed MK, the one who enforced MK, was none other than Yugo-Slovenian Gestapo in blue uniforms. The police officers, those in blue, officers in blue, enforced corruption literally through the violence, through the public display of the violence in return for lucrative careers, better salaries, vacations. I vacationed with the people whom were directly taught for a little torture you might actually see yourself in a summertime along the Adriatic Sea. It happened many times. For the piece of the real estate, a nice parcel, or maybe for the permit. For the parcel, get a permit where you could build the house. Or for the business, or maybe for the loan, or whatever the fuck it might be you need. For whatever reason, you would commit a crime. You would commit yourself to corruption. So, ZDRAVLJICA was adopted, a cheer, a toast, was adopted as a Slovenian anthem in 1990, once Slovenia became independent from, at least on the paper, it became independent from Greater Serbian Chetnik state known as Yugoslavia. So in 1990, Slovenes start to write their own chapter of independence, and they adopt this song, probably to scorn, probably out of the hatred for me, disdain, derision, for human dignity, for human ethics, for absolutely everything that is mentioned on Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. That's how Slovenes start their country. That's what Slovenian nation continues its Yugoslav saga. The crime which they continue to develop, just as during Yugoslavia, they continue to develop through international channels globally, So this is definitely the song, whether you like it or not, if you're in Palestine, or if you're in Ukraine, or if you're in Iraq, or you're in Iran, or you're in Afghanistan, or you're in Libya, or you're in Egypt, or wherever you are, definitely you will learn this song. I did talk to you about the poet emphasizing internationalism. It was defined in 1994 as an anthem act of the national symbol of Slovenia. However, even before the break of Yugoslavia, the lyrics were together adopted as the regional anthem of the Socialist Republic of the Slovenia. There you go. On September 1989, therefore, it was a regional anthem of the Socialist Republic of Slovenia, known simply as a Republic of the Slovenia, 1990, 91 considered Republic of the Yugoslavia from March, etc. There is nothing to say here. Legal status is a work of arts published in the official journal, official gazette, Uradni list. The text and melody of the 7th stanza of ZDRAVLJICA qualify as official work and are per Article 9 of the Slovene copyright and related rights not protected by the copyright. Their usage is regulated by Act regulating coat of arms. Slovenia is not even a country. Let's just recognize Slovenia for what it is. This is what they explain about the Slovenia here, about the Slovenian anthem. God bless, yes, God bless, bless you God, bless you, God bless, bless God. Ask Milan Kučan, ask Slovenian scum who went on to visit a pope. Francis was a big communist embracer. This was a big friend of the Russia, this guy. This one loved Putin. It was all about the Putin, this here. It's all about the Putin, so you get to see him. You get to see the Pope Francis also with the Milan Kučan. You get to see him with the Kučan. You already get to see this one here, the Pavel with the Kučan and so on. And you get to see here, you get to see the... Well, this case started through the Vatican. Because Josip Broz Tito, the famous Josip Broz Tito, was exposed through this crime. And it became dangerous for Josip Broz Tito to be seen as a pedophile because of my case. And he even climbed the pants of the Vatican. So it doesn't even make sense to talk about the Pope Francis. And Vatican embraced them with the Francis, with, I should say, Milan Kučan, with Robert Golob. There you go. You have a Robert Golob here. You have Robert Golob here on a visit. And you have here, you have a... with Borut Pahor. There you go. Now, if you go and you read about these people, if you leave, like this, you do it like this, you do it like that, you do this kind of stuff, and you can play with this stuff a little bit if you want. You can read about him a little bit, about really who this man is. He wanted to be a chief of the UDBA people, KGB in Yugoslavia. That was his dream job. It was even promised to become this was the boss of the UDBA, of the KGB in Slovenia. But, this is, how can I say, Like I stated, if you want to play with this stuff here, you just put here Vatican, like this. Oh, look at the flag, beautiful flag they have. You see, there is somewhere a beautiful flag like this, a Vatican in Josip Broz Tito. Tito Vaticano, you know, this kind of stuff. Josip Broz Tito was really looking funny kind of communist if you consider that this is the most communist person in the world, next to Joseph Stalin, next to Chinese communists and so on. But there you have it. How can I say you? My personal views, if you want to know, my personal views. Well, my personal views, to be next to God, to be close to God, you don't need to go to no church. That's one thing. I found priests to be close to God, and I found priests, some, to be rotten people. It all depended on the priests. It depended on what exactly I was dealing with. I was dealing with all kinds of people. And when it comes to the communism, I don't think there was a communism in this world that was in a form of legitimate communism elsewhere than in China, probably, I would say. What went on through the Soviet Union and through Yugoslavia was all about ethnic cleansing under the communism. It was about completely other issues. It was whether that be imperialism the Russians would use to expand themselves to Asia, or would be that a communism. They were always eliminating certain people, certain classes, and pretty much their communism and imperialism was the same thing. It worked one way or the other under the same principles. That's basically killing people, killing minorities, killing small nations, exterminating, etc., etc. This is just a brutal truth about Soviet, Yugoslav, Eastern Europe communism. I don't see this one issue or the other. Crime, corruption, criminality, convenience, politics was the bridge between Vatican and Eastern European communists, and still is. Vatican is Italian state, and Italian state, if they like something, if they feel that there is a potential economic, whatever kind of a potential with whomever, they will make exceptions. They will go and they will cover up for, literally through the Vatican, for certain figures. So this goes to tell more about Italian democracy, how much they're willing to level themselves. Italian state, how much Italian state is willing to lower itself to adjust standards of regulated crime, regulated corruption, state corruption. We synchronize that with other countries. That's all there is. But this is the same thing that pertains to every other country. This isn't about Italy only. The same pertains to Spain, France, Holland, Netherlands. I would not talk about the Britain, and even less about United States of America, actually, or United States of America. God blessing all nations who long and work for that bright day when our I don't know even what is the when our earth is habitations, no war no strife shall hold its way. I'm just gonna say like this, to translate it for what it says. A lot of people do not understand this here, I'm sure. when o'er earth habitations. It's a It looks to me like a son from Robert Golop singing this one. It was Robert Golop, the one who selected translation for this. They did this in front of me. Translated to English. And clearly, in Slovenian, it translated this to English. It says, wherever the sun walks, wherever the sun walks, we're gonna leave this picture. I like that picture. Argument, quarrel, dispute would be not argument but quarrel. Quarrel. We're talking about a quarrel here. Quarrel. Synonyms. Disagreement, dissension, dispute, disputation, clash, disagreement, clash. That would be translation of this. So wherever the sun walks, let the disagreement dissent, disputation, raw, fight, disagreement, let be banished from the world. So I don't know nothing about what this is here. Yeah, it sounds good in English because I personally was the one who selected. I insisted that this sounds better. But this was during MK Ultra. And Robert Golop needed this. He was the one who offered me this option here. When so the people don't more or less understand any of that. Most of you understand this part here. God blessing all the nation. Yeah, God bless you. Bless you, God. God bless you. Bless you, God. Yeah, Jesus bless you. God bless you, man. It doesn't say Jesus, but God bless you. Who long to see that all men free, no more shall foe but neighbors be. Yeah, man. All men free. All men free. No more foes. No more foes, only neighbors. No more foes, only neighbors. Beautifully. We wait. Who long to see that all men are free. All men free. No more foes, but neighbors be. No more foes, all men free. Everybody free. No foes, no nothing. First of all, this is not a translation. The proper translation as is translated in English language. It says here, Daroyak. Daroyak means, you know what the royak is? A countryman. A royak means compatriot, fellow countryman is royak. You understand? A countryman, not a neighbor, not a man, but a countryman, a countryman. A countryman, everyone will be free. Every countryman, every Slovenian countryman will be free. Not a Satan, not Satan. Let the neighbor be. Do you understand? This here is very, very, very not translated the way it's supposed to be. And if it would be a countryman in a sense of the global citizenship, it would have been different. Robert Golop is going to say, but that's what it is, that's what it means. And we studied, and that's what it means, that's what it is. They were not even sure about what the fuck it means. If you're not sure about what the fuck it means, why do you translate? Why do you translate it like this? Why do you... Because it sounds better, right? Because it sounds better. Yes, yes, yes. And foe is the same like a Satan. Really? A foe is a Satan. I don't think so. Satan is Satan. Devil is devil. It specifically is devil. It specifically is Satan. I find it weird when you use the word foe. So you play down your own words. The real words are Satan. Vrag means Satan. In the Russian language, but not in Slovenian, in the Russian language, vrag means enemy. I studied a bit Russian. So I can tell you that in Russian, vrag means enemy. But in Slovenian, vrag means a devil, a Satan, a Lucifer. So this here is just totally off. Has nothing to do with the real translation of this. So they offer here that every many free, there will be no foes, only good neighbors, and God bless you all the nations. In reality, that's not what it is. Who long to see all the nations, all the men free, all the who long to see that all men free, every man free, no more shall foe, but neighbors, no more shall foes, but neighbors be. We talk about more of the Satan here. Yes, if translated to English, yes, a fellow man, yes, a fellow man, yes, a countryman. Free will be everybody, not a Satan, not a Lucifer, only neighbor be, not a Satan, not a Lucifer, only neighbor be, not meyak. This is another word here that I see they use, meyak. Meyak is a borderman, a border, not a border, no border, no border free, everybody free, no border, everybody free. So we're coming close here also to what is known as a borderless state. We're coming very close to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia is praised everywhere. Yugoslavia, everywhere, Yugoslavia. It's another song I have in my head, but I'm not going to go and mix with Yugoslavia. I don't want to get into that one. So this is a small translation that is offered to the people, which is not translated at all. Well, when he gets into a real anthem, I should say lyrics of the so-called Slovenian anthem, then it actually looks even much better. Then we talk about the wine, alcoholism. Let me get this picture closer, a bit closer here. It goes like this. And again, the wine gave a good Latina. No. Pridelek. Again, the grapes will be good. Grape is good. I don't like this kind of attitude. I don't like any of it. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate Geschichte. Listen, fuck this. We have better stuff than that. We have a English translation through the Google, and we can use this stuff here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do this one here. The wine. I don't like the fucking wine. Harvest crop. Yeah. Well, yeah, you may say, well, you know, you're boring, you know, you whatever, you know, whatever yeah. There is a Smolenia Vas right here, about 2 kilometers from here. Golop was the last name of my sister's husband, Brane Golop, where they would take me to their weekend with wine, where they would alcoholize themselves always. My father was not big of alcoholic. He would just drink a glass here and there, and demanded from me to drink alcohol. You know, there was something else. They demanded from me to drink alcohol during MK Ultra. And they demanded from me to drink alcohol because of the same issues as they demanded from me to eat pepper. They were trying to addict me to the pepper. I told you about how they demanded from me to addict myself to the bread. Then they started to enforce the policy of the bread. I told you about that stuff, how through Italy, through Josip Broz Tito pizza, how they demanded from me to eat bread. You must eat bread, not fish. And at the same time, once they started to cause damage, they came with a theory. As a child, I was as a child already. They already caused substantial damage already when I was a child already. They started to suggest that without the meat, they video record themselves. Without the meat, you cannot be alive, you cannot live. You don't understand. Without the meat, you cannot live. So they started to build their own story parallel to the brainwash during MK Ultra. I bet under this kind of circumstances, you also would not want to drink wine. You would also not embrace alcoholism. This is why. This is the reason why. I can tell you exactly why I hate. It's all rational. It's justified. I didn't grow up as a Prince Charles. I didn't grow up as a Prince Andrew with a silver spoon to do whatever I was pleased to do, whatever I wanted to do. My circumstances are very different. I come from a very different world, in completely different worlds. I didn't get to drink, eat whatever I want, whenever I want. The sweet vines, the vine, the grape, give us a good year again. Let's put this stuff here. Harvest, crop, very good. It gives us, it helps our veins. It gives our veins CP. It revives our veins. The vine is sweet. The heart is like a hawk, which is drowning all the worries. In a chest, in a demoralized chest, it gives us a hope. So this is beautiful here. This is awesome. This is not a Satanism here. No. This is clearly gesturing you that you should get drunk. And as you get drunk, the hope will return to you. You will feel better. It will give you a hope. The hope and getting drunk is good. These are two things related to one another. Drunkenness is actually, it's a solution. In Wikipedia, they did not translate the whole thing. They only give this as a translation, and there is nothing else. There is nothing else here. Look. Zero. Nothing. Nada. That's what people get to read about the zdravica. Slovenska, made in Slovenia zdravica. This is missing here, the stuff that I demonstrated you. And now, because of this mouse, which is very defective, I even close the page. So there you go, it's open again. They don't talk the whole thing, do they? To whom, komu naprej veselo, zdravljico, bratje, če smo za pet. Bog nam deželo, Bog živi, ves slovenski svet. Brate, vse, kar nas je, sinov sloveče matere. To whom? They translate this into the toast. Zdravljica, to whom the toast? To whom the toast? To whom the cheer? To whom to cheer, brothers? If we do it again. God, our country. It's like God give us our country. So, what I earlier suggested to you about the fellow man, the fellow man, the fellow man, it's about the countryman. Every countryman will be free. It's not so much about the man in sense of the global stuff. It's about the fellow man. The fellow man here, Slovenia, will be free. God lives entire Slovenian world. Yes, entire Slovenian world is God. God will give you entire Slovenian world. That's God. That's godly. Everything is godly. All the brothers, as we are sons of the Slovenian mother. So this is not very global and all that kind of stuff. That's very ethnic here. Slovenians, very dedicated here. No, it's not. How the fuck could you, God, every Slovenian, God that lives every Slovenian, all this entire Slovenian world, of the Slovecha, Slovenska mater. This is a praised Slovenian mother. Translated this to English, basically both verses. If you were to translate this into English, we can get this stuff translated. That basically looks exactly like this. The wise have borne fruit again, friends. Sweet wine for us, which revive our vein, clarify our heart and eyes, which drowns all worries, awakens hope in our depressed breasts. To whom first of all, brothers, shall we sing a cheerful cheer? God bless our land. God bless the entire Slovenian world. Brothers, all that is of us, sons of the glorious mothers. And this is where we go psych, this is where we go psychotic. All the enemies from the clouds. I don't even understand. This is so psychotic and cowardly done. All the enemies from the clouds, from the sky. No, it's missing here again. This stuff is also missing. Ancestry is rodu. Ancestry here. All the clouds from the skies. Rodu is ancestry. There are enemies from the clouds, and all of those that are related to the enemies from the clouds. All the enemies from the clouds, all the enemies from the clouds their ancestry. That means Italians, Germans, Hungarians, Croatians. That's basically 4 countries that border the Slovenia. Let ours be stricken by the thunder. May thunder strike our nation enemies from the clouds. Prosko je bil očakal, najprej naj bo Slovencov dom, naj zdrobe njih roke si spone, ki jim še teže. Very interesting. Free, ko je bil očakal, this is a bit očak. Let's give this očak. Evo ga očak. Evo ti ga očaka. Evo ga očak. Evo ti ga očaka. Očak. Free is the očak. Forward, let the Slovenian be home, let it crumble their hands. Free as it was for our ancestors, let the Slovenian home continue. May the chain that weighed them down break their hands. Prost, ko je bil očakal, naprej naj bo Slovencov dom. I guess that this was free. This was free one time. This was free. Let it crumble their hands. I guess the mountain should crumble the hands of the Austrian people. Let crumble their hands. Their chain, like a chain, which is, I don't know, which is making them heavy. The heavy chain break their hands. Okay, very good. Let's continue with this stuff here. This almost sounds like psychiatrist Peter Kapsch song. It's like song about drkanje, song about jerking off, something like that, like something beautiful, twisted, completely twisted, imaginary, like a world of Putin or something like that he had going on over there with. I don't blame Berlusconi, because Berlusconi was a businessman who got these criminals into business basically to make money with it. But, you know, I don't want to get the unity, the happiness, the reconciliation. Let it come back to us. The unity, the happiness and the reconciliation. Oh, what the fuck happened? Where is the fucking happiness? Where is the unity? Where is the reconciliation? Why didn't you mention this in your song, this stuff here? Children, what a glory has. Let everyone take hold of it, so the power and with honor as before will be ours again. Otrok, kar ima slava. Slava means Slovenian, that's a glory. That's what's translated from Slovenian. Slava is glory. Slava. Let it all embrace their hands, so that the power, the authority, and with it the honor which is in front of us, our will be again. This is translated exactly. The power and with it honor as before will be ours again. I don't know. Maybe before or whatever, but if you translate this, the unity, happiness, reconciliation, let it come back to us. Let them return to us. The happiness, the reconciliation, the unity, come back to us, come back. A child, as many as the glory has, all of them, let them handshake. Let them handshake the authority and the honor with it, and the honor in front of it. Let be ours again. This is a literary translation that I'm giving you. God lives in all of us, Slovenian. All of us Slovenian females, the beautiful, the sexiest, the žlahtna rožica. Žlahtna means not the sexiest, but žlahtna means based on the ancestry, pure Slovenian. Pure woman, pure Slovenian woman. Oh, the beautiful you are. God live in you. It is in you. There is no such a young woman like Slovenian, like the one that is of the proper ancestry, that is purely clean, that is purely racially, ethnically clean Slovenian. Oh, there is no such a thing. There you go. Right here. No, there is no such a thing like a pure our girl from Slovenia. Let the sons, the progeny, new out of you. The enemy will be afraid. The enemy will fear. Many of you as possible. Many. This is not schizophrenic shit. No. But this is Slovenian anthem. That they are not translating it entirely, right? So we're gonna translate the whole thing. I'll take time for you to translate the whole thing. Yes, we're gonna translate the whole thing. Yes. The young. Drink, now drink. It's a drink your toast. You drink. You are our hope. Drink. Love of the domatria. Love of your love for your farm. Love for your homestead. Yeah. Love your homestead with a poison. Nobody. Love your homestead. Let nobody kill you. Nobody naj vam ne smrti. Nobody naj vam ne smrti strup. Love your fucking homestead. Nobody shall destroy your poison. This is normal to you. This is fucking normal to you people. Keep your fucking poison, motherfuckers. All of you around the world. Keep being fucking poisoned. And don't allow anybody to take poison away from you. This is a translation. Except that this is not dedicated to you around the people, but this is in a good-hearted man. This is dedicated to the Slovenian people. Slovensko. For all of us. stab everybody, heartedly defend time call. Oh, there you go. Let me translate. A young man. Now we drink. Drink our toast. Drink your toast. You are our hope. Obviously, the drunks are hope. Love Homestead. Let nobody take away from you the poison. Literally, let nobody take away from, let nobody kill your poison. It's actually better. It's more psychotic. Nobody shall kill your poison. For all of us, it will you who will come to defend when the time comes. Let the whole nation be blessed. We already did go about that stuff. That are waiting for the day to come. That wherever the sun goes, I don't understand that. Now it's actually translating this properly. Wherever the sun goes, await the day when a quarrel will be banished from the world. What a countryman. Now it's actually translating it properly. Will be free. Not the devil, but the neighbor will be the border. So even the Google Translate now, when you put the whole thing inside, starts to translate this. At least this here starts to translate this properly. This here is not properly translated. And this here is also. You can translate it like this if you want. I don't recognize it. I'm translating it for what it is. And there is more here. We have more about alcoholism here. There you go. At last, our friends, the glass we raise in ourselves, the glass we raise to ourselves, correct. It's why we brethren, because in our heart we think, I don't know, man. This is so fucked up that I'm gonna stop here with this stuff. I'm not gonna go bother anymore with this. I have stuff to do. May God long live. How many good people there are? No. Again, nothing like that. None of that shit. Bullshit translation. Bullshit. Finally, friends, let us raise glass to ourselves. It's why we are brethren. This is not about come together, but this is why we brethren. Brethren is pobratit is it's deeper. It's not about coming together. It's why we became a brothers. Like a drunks basically, because in the heart we think good. Many more days. Let the God live, whatever is of us, good people. So this is all us good people, Slovenes. So that's all there is to it. What is translated here to the people is a modified corruption, global corruption, a little bit different, very, very different than what Slovenia is trying to present itself. This here is what I'm going to choose as an icon right here, because Slovenia doesn't matter. What matters is that Slovenia has alibi, that Slovenia has somebody to hide behind, and the rest, it really doesn't fucking matter, does it? That's how it is. That's a translation of the France Prešeren. The similarity with Robert Golob undisputably exists. Robert Golob insisted that he did not like the song, Well, I like the song very much, but I learned really what this song is all about. I learned what the nation, not the song, is all about. I should say Robert Golob is all about. And probably the best way to demonstrate this issue, and that's how I got inspired about getting actually translated, getting it done, is actually this post here that I posted here about Robert Golob and his son with the Dawson syndrome, that Robert Golob fully exploited one to full potential to compare himself what Robert Golob insisted with the royals will be the situation with my own father. So this is not anymore about, how can I say, this is very personal, and I do not allow Slovenian nation to reduce me to an issue of Robert Golob. You know, I don't allow Slovenes to reduce me, as is written right here in the title, into this issue here, or the issue, or where you will equal my issue with issue of his son. His son did not do anything to Robert Golob, to the Slovenian doctor Robert Golob. He did not do anything. My father, on the other hand, look, this is right here, is the area right here, the home for elderly people. Solicited entire city, portion of the city where I am, not only the neighbors of the home for elderly people, begged them to get involved in torture with the hope to destroy me. This is just the way it is. So this is, if you want to go and you want to judge me based on people, based on animals, like those from Novo Mesto police station who enforced, with a violence enforced, this crime. Well, you want to go and you want to compare me with somebody, Robert Golob, on how they take care of their parents and their family members and so on. You're going to go and you're going to judge me based on some kind of normality, normal, that British royals demanded. World basically to see itself in when compared to me about what is normal and non-normal, then, you know, I'm not obligated in seeing the Slovenian anthem in absolutely any way than the one that I translated. Finally, this is a home for elderly people. These schools were all involved in torture, with the full knowledge of my father. These houses were all solicited into torture, literally through my father. My father was asking people with the police to give him a hand, to help, to cooperate. This entire region of the city here, this is next to the home for elderly people. All these houses here, all this here, everything was involved in torture. Every house here that you see was involved in torture, with my father literally coming to the people, asking them to get involved in torture. Accompanied with the police, when people would approach during torture, my father, who posed on a wheelchair, would even go and attack people. Psychologically started to extort people, gesturing that he can prove and so on and this and that. That kind of stuff. This house is the same. The same. Everything the same. The apartments here, the same thing. So with my going to the Father, really, and doing the stuff that I do, Robert Golob, Milan Kučan continue to translate through the Slovenian police department, which enforced genocide against me. All these apartments, everything that you see. Everything. This was one of the worst stores. One of the worst stores, Mercator. Other stores, because of disgrace, because of the degree of torture, or maybe even potential for the employees to come forward with it, they even make them disappear. Several of these Mercator stores. All this, everything, the whole city, Novo Mesto, was involved in torture, but especially here, next to the home for elderly people. Father personally solicited with the police. I could say that police used Father to solicit for violence. Oh, I actually made it here. You see this here? This is all around the home for elderly people. Every fucking house was involved in torture. And my father personally solicited with the police for torture and threatened people. And if he wouldn't do it, they probably would have killed him. They probably would have made him disappear. Probably. The proofs for that, however, I don't have absolutely any. Because why? Because my father continues to comply with the police. With the mother, he continues to enforce the policy, extermination, genocide policy, Slovenian policy. This is exactly why. I wouldn't get into this stuff, but if you want to compare yourself to me in absolutely any way and you want to be judgmental about it, I'm going to say let the pedophile, let the violent schizophrenic Slovenian nation, drunks, as many as your glorious mothers have delivered to this world, let it not be the judge of mine. Scum. You cannot do it. You cannot do it the normal way. You cannot come up forward and explain what happened. Then I have my way to point out to the world about what exactly took place here. You want to, through my goodness, through my willingness to help, interpret your story in your own way by using literally my father. In that case, we're going to do this different. Through the economic genocide years where the Keir Sturmführer, Stürmer, der Sturmführer from the London, the Labour Party scumbag was coming here. Oh, poor father, poor daddy, poor this, poor that, giving me advice. Be sorry about this, be sorry about that. Where were you, motherfucker, involved in torture since my earliest childhood? And he did not recognize me as a human being. But then you came here to work even next to the mother, flash around here, around the house, to gesture me what you have seen they were doing with the father and they did to the father and so on, the father. If I don't feel sorry for him. You fucking British scumbag. Murderous British swine. fucking Satan. And you're gonna go and you're gonna do what? You're gonna teach about what? You're gonna do what? You would give absolutely anything in this world to get me killed, to get me perished, for the world not to see what happened. Slovenes associate themselves with those where they saw the potential for the mindless crime not to be seen. And that's just because you have a Russian flag and because you have your anthem, that doesn't mean that you are not guilty. And with your friends from London, partners from Washington, D.C., that doesn't mean. You know, the whole city of Novo Mesto was involved in torture. But this area here, this area around the home for elderly people, especially was involved in torture. It makes no point in going and mapping this shit here, but the home for elderly people is located here. This is a home for elderly people. With this property for mentally disabled people. Father solicited this houses here, all this here, he solicited. He solicited all this here. I'm going to mark this as a yellow color like this. This is on one side of the Tashka Voda. He solicited numerous people into crime. All this here. It's not good. This is where my father was present during MK Ultra in front of me. He begged people to get in a torture procedure, to give him a hand for his sake, literally. And this is not Mlini here, look like this. See this? This was the area of my father. And this shit doesn't even matter. Whether he did this or he did not this, based on what Slovenian government have done, it doesn't matter. But then again, when you're trying to use the father, and when father gets smart and he's trying to use you to make himself look good, to excuse his crime, with adding more crime in return for goodness. You see, because I did not live with 5,000-10,000 euros per month. My situation is very, very different. With 4 hours of sleep per day, with... Let me explain to you that we make ourselves clear about this stuff. With laying down on the floor, with heart doing like this at night, because it's under too much stress, the whole thing. And still going out there and still doing my best for the father. These are two very different stories. My father had a big property here. I would only get from this property 10 square meter room that equaled prison on open. In a hot summer time with a slow internet connection, begging God to save me, uploading 4 to 8 hours to upload one video to the internet that was 40, 50, 60 minutes because they destroy absolutely everything, whatever they could get their hands on. This is not story of my father, that's my story. From all the garden that you see, I wouldn't even go out to get myself an apple, a fruit. I was here, I physically was here, that's correct, I was here. But I had much more in Poland when I had absolutely nothing, when I was sleeping inside of the car with no money than I had ever in my life here in this property here. I was here, yes, I was physically, I'm here, physically I'm here. Physically I'm here. I am 53 years old. 13 years I spent abroad. Several years financed myself from my own life savings. 40 years, 40 plus years I'm here in Slovenia. Within 40 plus years here in Slovenia, all together, with the social support, with absolutely everything, with the money, with the income, with the salaries, I did not make 5,000 euros in 40 years. 5,000 euros in 40 years. 40. You understand the reality? Do you understand the contrast of Robert Golob condition situation when Slovenian doctorate, he's got a doctor, when all the doors are open to you, when professors let you through, and somebody who was tortured since he was baby and denied the right to exist on 2 continents throughout the Europe, literally more than a dozen of countries where I applied for the political asylum protection, escaped this British Washington DC, Tel Aviv Jewish madness. Do you understand? Do you even understand? Do you comprehend? First, I have to have ability to comprehend the difference. Then you go and you judge me. Then you go and you say you this, you that, and whatever the fuck you are. And don't ever say that I'm Slovenian, motherfuckers, because there's nothing Slovenian about me. This is what you have done, scum. This is what you have done, scum. And thanks God, yes, thanks God, I lived long enough to give the tale to the world. So the world can understand the real meaning of this Slovenian universe that they created with the assistance of the London and Washington DC, I should say Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is what had absolutely a lot to do with it, if not everything. You know, Satanism that started to spread in a certain part of the world through ultimate slavery, through the worse than genocide slavery, which Josip Broz Tito commenced through the Syria and through all these Arabic states over there, to post with the Soviets is different, as support, as their supporter and so on. A lot to do with it. Yes, a lot to do with it. I will get to the Jewish question more closely. We're going to talk about the settlers giving the statements, hateful statements on a TV, for which many of these settlers, Jews, used me for the settlers to issue the hate statements on the internet. Very, very disturbed with Israel. Recently, I published one woman from Israel that she made a statement. That woman directly was involved in MK Ultra and demanded from me to give her a green light based on prior torture for the statement against Palestinian people and so on. This is a Satanism here. This is not even a country when it comes to Israel. I had Angela Merkel, I had German politicians posing in front of me, demanding from me to see myself in Israel literally through corruption, literally to accepting bribes inside of this home, inside of our house, with Jews posing in front of me, gesturing that I work for the Israel more than for any other country during MK Ultra, and demanding from me to acknowledge money. Germans, British, Prince Charles did, Angela Merkel did, German presidents, ex-German presidents did, with White House, with Americans, they demanded from me to see myself in Israel as the one that would pay my bills, that would be the one who would financially award me, claiming that I worked more for them than I worked for anybody else, and demonstrating me how they accepted the bribes in front of me to see myself in Israel and stuff like this. There's a lot to be told about the Israel, about the stuff that went on. I thought it would be a good idea to put her on the internet, but the thing about it is that do you see this lady here, the Jewish lady, the settler?
High in the hills of the occupied West Bank, a flag flies in the face of a Palestinian.
Do you see her? Do you see her? Directly was involved in this case. At one point in time in my life, flirted with me. Directly was involved. She made a lot of hateful statements out there. You see it? That's how the Jews made me see myself in Israel, while depicting at the same time Palestine as the one that does torture only and wants me dead, which had a lot to do with the stupidity of the Palestinian politicians and corruption, and more than anything Iran and others. You can see her. You can see her. Daniela Weiss is her name. Louis Theroux was involved in this case. Louis Theroux witnessed this stuff here. Threw me even into psychiatric hospital to get a rage out of me. This one here that I depicted on the blog, whom I depicted on the blog the other day, I'm going to get faster out of my blog here. This one was directly Joe was coming here to Slovenia. Joe was coming right here to Slovenia to death threaten with a psychiatric hospital with Slovenian Jew posing next to Jew from Israel, from America, death threatening me if I will raise the question of the Jew, together with the so-called Americans with the British royals. Jews loved psychiatry. Jews hired herds of Americans to pose in front of me, not only in Slovenia but also in America. Blacks, Hispanics, anyone in America, all of you scum, post in United States of America, prided yourself with the Slovenian psychiatry against me in Slovenia whenever you had me hijacked to United States of America. You prided yourself, entire Black Lives Matter prided itself with it. You applauded with it. That's this famous Slovenian anthem. That's why when you started to caboozle me about this stuff here, when you started to caboozle about Menendez and stuff like this is when I had you enough, guys. You guys do not understand any of this stuff. We're gonna do the video. I am getting little by little tired of this American police shit. Yeah. So this is gonna be the video on what probably you would, based on what you see at least, I'm going to do this for the sake of date and time, just so you see basically what's happening here. Let's do this. We're going to do this stuff. I think, yeah, it's not because of your threats. Because of your threats that I have to fix this video here. Right now, when I recorded the part number 1, it's I have to fix this stuff. It's not because of your threats that you Americans and British and that you put me in this kind of situation. Horrific situation, that means I'm going to stop talking about the Jew. You did a lot of bad stuff. I admit you did a lot of bad stuff for Slovenia. But that's not the way it works. I didn't stop talking about Jew because of the threats. You misunderstood me. This issue of the Jew was related to same sympathy for my father. But I'm not obligated. If you piss me off, if you anger me, I'll bring all the stuff on the surface. And as a matter of fact, we're going to talk now all about Israel. From now on, this blog is going to be a lot about Israel, crimes against me. I'm going to zoom myself into the Israel, and all I will do is I will talk about Israel. This blog is going to be more now about Israel than anything else. I'm not obligated. You don't understand. That's my mercy to you. You don't fucking understand. That's my mercy to you. My mercy to you that I did not talk about the Israel. You don't fucking understand any of it. And you keep bullying. You keep pushing. You keep going forward. And then it happens like this. You Americans did not understood anything about me. You didn't learn nothing about me through all my stay in United States of America. 11.5 years, you have not learned nothing about me. Nothing. You learned nothing about me. About my stay in the United States of America. You did not learn shit about me. You misunderstood. You misunderstood my mercy for you. My mercy for you. You misunderstood that for fear. You're fucking crazy. Completely crazy. Totally.
The surprising report from Israel today, where officials are taking seriously a recent upsurge in spitting and hitting attacks on clergy and the vandalism.
Respect the man.
This were involved in it. All of them were involved in it. This is such a bigot in uniform that is unprecedented.
We've committed to this since
every
the
one
dawn
of them
our
is a bigot.
existence. This is the most basic.
Together in order to encourage
Tremendous
coexistence
bigotry.
and solidarity between us and the love between us, because we
Christians are
brothers in the
scared
same
for their
state.
lives over there
We
in
live
Israel.
the same places.
As part of the cooperation between all the parties, we're working to bridge the gaps in places of conflict, while simultaneously striving to provide the vital sense of security.
This is not
David
even.
Parsons
This
from-
is not even. This is not even. This one here. This one. This one flirted with me when they had me inside of the psychiatric hospital, and I was delivered to the Israel after torture. And what this one did, this is not your homeland. This stuff here. She watched my video that I published. I was already out of the psychiatric hospital. I think I was hijacked from Poland maybe, or from whatever country. Let me just see this here. Published the video 1 month ago. I think I was hijacked from yeah, Poland, I would say. This was a Poland. This was 2014 was when I really, actually no, sorry, 2017, 2018. This was from Poland, 2018. Poland, 2018, when I was hijacked, or actually even Belarus, when I was hijacked to the Israel, and this girl flirted with me, and maybe even a child, I don't know, the capacity of your being drugged up, deprived, to even realize whether you're talking to the child or you're talking to an adult. That's what MKUltra is used for. Watch my video. This one right here. Watched my video. Watched my video. I dedicated to United States of America. This one here. Another version of this video. I already created other versions of this video. And you didn't take me seriously. And the only thing that happened is I upgraded the stuff. I took more time to make better video, to make picture more clear. And you didn't take me seriously. It's a video titled, "We Don't Want You in America Anymore." And did this in a very, very awkward way. Express herself, "We don't want you in Israel anymore. This is not your homeland." Practically copy-pasting the words of my video, which I released, which this a roommate told me, "This is not your country. We don't want you. We don't want you in America anymore." Most of the guys that you see, not most of them, but many that you see, Israeli state made sure they would hide their face behind me. Thus always had the opportunity to prove the other side the opposite. In fact, that I even supported ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people or Gazan people in Palestine. No, I did not. I never did and I never will. But did they obtain all kinds of crazy statements from me? Well, for that matter, you go to the Slovenian song. The Slovenian song explains everything. A video about the Slovenian song explains you absolutely everything. What is? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Because my father used to do it, a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff he used to do. What is the truth in a complete madness? What is the truth? My father would take a belt or 3 branches and would make completely insane face and would beat me so much that he didn't have the power in his hands anymore. Child, what kind of truth comes out of that when police does the same thing to you? When at home you're beaten up like this, in school you have 10, 20, 30 bullies or even entire school going on you. What kind of truth comes out of that one? When you have daily on average 30 more death threats given to you in the face through sleep deprivation, trauma based. You know what that trauma is? When you're in trauma, you only respond to the jabs because you're so exhausted, because you are demented through the torture, through the degree, through the level of the torture. You don't even have a capacity to discern between the grown-up, between the child. What good comes out of that? You fucking explain to me. What good comes out of that? For what slovenska policija je bila uporabljena za te stvari. Slovenian Gestapo, KGB UDBA, Red Star Gestapo was used for this. What good comes out of that? What good comes out of bestialities like this? What good comes out of it? You mistaken me. You mistaken me. This is my block here. This is who I am. You mistaken me for somebody else. You mistaken me. You mistaken my power, my strength for the weaknesses of other people. You mistaken my power, my strength for the weaknesses of yourself. You convinced yourself that no man could and no man can. Based on your own example, based on who you are, based on what you are. You mistaken my strength, my power, my mercy for the violence, for the degree and for amount of violence you committed against me, what became even no longer forced unemployment and MK but even psychiatric hospitalization. Sure that I'm going to keep my mouth shut, I'm not going to say anything about it and go along with it. No. All I wanted to do is I wanted to save my father. I wanted to give my father something in his life. Now you guys fucked even that. It's his own fault. He followed on you. He followed up on you. And that also was part of your plan. For me, for my sake, if I am here today or I am here no more today, it matters to me shit. If I'm dead in 1 hour, if I die tomorrow, whatever it might be, I don't care. I don't care. Nothing is guaranteed in life. We don't know if we're going to live tomorrow, today, to the end of the day, to tomorrow, or next year, or whatever the fuck is going to be. I don't care. To live like this, I don't care. I don't care to live like this. I don't care. You make a mistake. I'm non-violent. I'm a living proof of non-violence. Nobody did. Nobody thought like this possibly could be. But I did it. Through non-violence. But if I'm here today, or I'm here tomorrow, or I'm here next year, like under circumstances I'm in, I don't give a three shit about this. I don't care. I really don't care. That's why I said, you underestimated me. You greatly underestimated me. There is such a say like, it could be even worse. It always can be worse. No, not really. Not really. I am 53 and I have nothing to live for. I had nothing with my life. I have nothing to live for. I have nothing to turn around and say, that's mine, or this, or that, or whatever. Not really. Not really. The fear is a sickness. For the people like myself, to bend in front of the fear and not pursue life, not take it for what it is, grab it, and reveal the world, the whole thing, regardless of what it is. Take command, take charge, responsibility over your own life, over how you see things, even if you are gone today or tomorrow. That will be a total weakness. That will be a weakness. You make a big mistake. I'm none of you. I'm not one of you. None of you are any of me. None of you are ever any of me. None. And I'm never going to allow myself to land on your level. The fear, the terror, the torture, the unemployment, everything that you have done, all the stuff, that's what controls your world. That does not control my world anymore. It used to control my world. I bargain for something, for anything where I could start my life over and over and over and over again. You ran me over like this through forced unemployment. Jobs were used for torture purposes and to kill the hope. None of that stuff. Remember, I'm 53. The thumbnail for this video is going to be this one here. Look. It's going to be this one right here. This is going to be a thumbnail. This one especially was obsessed with the violence. King Charles now is King Charles. Charles Windsor. Battenberger. Saxe, Coburg, Gotha, Romanov, etc., etc. He was obsessed with the violence. He was obsessed. He would always be. Whatever I promise somebody that I'm going to do somebody to somebody during MK Ultra, one of those animals, Slovenian animals in blue, or a politician, this would be like a rooster. He would jump in my face and question me, what you gonna, nothing you can do, what you gonna do, nothing you can do, nothing you can do, nothing you can do. This is gonna be a thumbnail, this one here, for this Slovenian anthem. This one here. This guy is obsessed with nothing you can do, nothing you can do. So, with the Milan Kuchan right there, cheers. That's a proper anthem. Proper thumbnail for Slovenian anthem. I'm not gonna say thanks for watching this video, because I get it done. Because I do it. Despite everything, I do it. Arbeit macht frei. We continue to go on. We continue to march. We continue to go on. What others dream about, hallucinate about, we get it done. We do it. We place this in reality here in this blog. Papa, Miran Sudin claimed me, was making fun, laughing in my face at the police station based on MK Ultra. Go home and do it, go home and do it. That sign, Arbeit macht frei, you see it? That's your sign. Here, we get it done. Here, what you warn against, humanity. Here, this place, what you promised me, you're going to do with me. Based on warnings that you issue to humanity. We take this as all your insults that you give, everything that you give, we just get it done here. We just do it. We continue to work here. because this is what human is all about. You guys don't even know what the fuck you live for. I'm doing it to getting it done, and I get it done really well. I exposed who knows how many other people. I exposed the highway of death, the modern highway of death, based on which the world is based upon, like no other human being could. My father was talking about help. When he was hiring people for crime, he was talking about help to help him, which means that Slovenian state, Slovenian police were eating him. He was all demented, all crazy from this stuff. When he went to work at Krka Pharmaceutical, they were choking him. Whatever he was doing, they were psychologically implying on lunacy. They were driving him insane so he could kill me and mom at home. Not only to deprive him of the peace, of the personal space, of the sanity, but literally so he could commit something horrific. I had people that were coming inside of the house and I would kill him, I would do this to him, I don't know what the fuck I would do. The friends, in a parenthesis, the friends, the family friends that were coming here. This is where I'm coming from. This is what this video is all about. Now, my father, however, made a conscious decision to continue with this type of attitude, with commitment to MK Ultra, and I do not allow any of that. There is no such thing like I am a Slovenian police officer, I am a judge, I am a psychiatrist. There is no such a thing. There is absolutely no such thing. I'm a police officer. Stepping in front of me, I'm a police officer. Stepping in front of me, I'm a psychiatrist. Stepping in front of me, I'm a firefighter. Stepping in front of me, I am a psychiatrist, whatever. There is no such a thing. There is no such a thing. The most responsible for this crime, the one who enforced the crime, who was it? The police. Right? The difference between Gestapo, between the Slovenian police and eyes of somebody like myself is what? What is it? When I came to the police station, when I talked to the scum, shit, human shit, what happened? I came in a nice way. I tried to make the sense out of it. What happened? They put me in front of the people who committed at least, every one of them, at least 1,000 hate crimes. These are the people that would deliver me from house to house, from house to house. These are the people who barricaded themselves inside of this house. Those are the people that they presented me at Novo Mesto police station. Every one of those butchers, in my case, committed at least 1,000 hate crimes. These are the people that would redistribute me throughout Slovenia, and I did not go into investigation department. Investigation department, certain investigation officers committed thousands of crimes per person. And these are the people who make me meet at Novo Mesto police station and demand from me to see them as a police officer, in fact, to settle down on how we never even met before in life. What the fuck is this? You're not a police officer, a psychiatrist, or whatever you are. You are everything you wanted me to become is pursued through the public eyes as anti-Semite, as a Russophobe, etc., etc., etc. That's who you are. This is who you are, and you enforce that through physical torture, through the physical torture. Physical. Accent is on a physical, and of course also through the forced unemployment, which was the main factor that you use. You step in front of me, I'm a police officer. You're no fucking police officer of any kind. You're no police officer. First of all, you're not a police officer of any kind. If you present yourself as an authority here in Slovenia, I'm going to take you as an authority in Slovenia, as somebody who, not authority, but somebody who poses as authority in Slovenia. That's a big difference. You're not a police officer. You're somebody who poses as authority in Slovenia. Other than that, you're Jew, you're Serb, you're Russian. You're no authority. You pose as the authority of some kind of state or some kind of country. But other than that, you're Jew, you're Russian, you're Serb. To make myself clear, you're gonna eat this stuff here that I gave you here about this stuff here. You're gonna learn this stuff here. You're gonna learn to see yourself in this post here. This is whom you assisted. This is whom you work with. This is how you demanded even for me to see you yourself. When you step in front of me, this is who you are. Do you understand? It doesn't matter if you're a so-called good police officer or you're a so-called bad police officer. You step in front of me. Do you see this here? This is what you see yourself in the mirror when you see me. When you think about me, you step in front of the mirror and this is who you are. You understand? You're no authority. You are a Jew, you are a Serb, and you are a Russian when you step in front of me. That's all there is. That's about the Slovenian police, the Slovenian scum in the blue uniforms. There's no such thing as a good Slovenian police officer because evil went on. And during the evil, some of you posed as good. Therefore, you not only existed for evil to exist, but you enforced evil. You understand? You're gonna understand this shit here. Make no mistake about it, you will understand this here. This stuff here. You will understand this post here. This post is not going away. I didn't put this post so I would shy away from one. This post here, you see this sign over there? Univerzitetna psihiatrična klinika, you see it? This shit I posted you because this is who you are and this is how you are going to be considered for the rest of my life. You understand? And you're not going to change anything in my view. And you're not going to modify. And you're not going to do anything. Nothing you can do about it. And I told you, if it's 1 more hour, if it's 2 more hours, if it's tomorrow I'm gone, if it's after tomorrow I'm gone, or the next year, I did my job. You understand? That's a difference between me, Robert Golob, you, whoever you are, whatever you are. Fear did not conquer here. I conquered here. I demonstrated the world also how to conquer the fear. I demonstrated the world why you have to fight, and I demonstrated the world that you have to fight. You have to stand up and fight, and fight, and fight, and fight, and fight until the last day in this world. And it doesn't matter. If it comes to the stuff like this, then you gotta do it. Only one, but did all this. Yes, I. That's correct. You can pose as authority here. You can pose as authority here. That's all you can do. But you are no authority. You're fucking nobody. You're nobody. You're nothing. I don't respect Slovenian laws. I do not see Slovenia as a state, as a country, as a nation of any kind. That much about the Slovenska zdravica. I was going to say it could be different. Nothing could be different. This is the way it is. That's exactly how it's going to be. Not only how it is, but this is the way it's going to be. I suggest United Nations to move the butt, get on to work, start working, do your fucking job already. You're paid to assist people like myself, not a criminal organized crime. That's all there is to it. And one more thing I want to say. Adolf Hitler did not have the reason to hate you. Hitler did not have any legitimate reason to hate you Slovenian scum in respect to your ZDRAVLJICA. But I do. I do have the reason to hate you. Hitler did not have the reason to hate you, but I do. I say this because you feared of Hitler so much. Hitler had a final solution for the Slovenian people. I don't want to defend Adolf Hitler, but this is the figure that you base this crime on Adolf Hitler. The thing is that as much as he didn't have the reason to hate you, I do have the reason to hate you. I have a deep reason to hate you. And deep reason to affiliate you with Jews, with Israel, and with Russia. And this shit is real. You lied on complaint in 2012 after throwing me into a psychiatric hospital that I attempted to exterminate Slovenian people and Jews, Israel, and Roma people. That's what you claimed on your complaint, on your original complaint of 2012. And I just want to get the record straight about Slovenes, about the Jews, and about the Russians. Nobody is afraid. Nobody's afraid of the psychiatric hospital. Nobody's afraid of getting thrown in a prison. And you scum in blue, Slovenian scum in blue, you scum are no authority. You are no authority of any kind. You can pose as authority, but you are no authority of any kind. You understand what you are. You see yourself in the mirror. Think about this blog. Think about how I presented you, and think about how little you have managed to accomplish through your psychiatric hospitalizations, eating my kidneys, liver, organs, internal organs, poisoning, driving me insane, and so on. This is the final product that you created. And you told this shit after 53 years in front of the entire world. Hitler didn't have a reason to hate you. But I do, scum. I do. Both sides of my family were involved in World War II resistance. Both sides either participated or supported partisans. For the world to acknowledge your ZDRAVLJICA, you Slovenes, collectively, nation as whole, as the ultimate scum of this world. You're no nation and you're no country, you're nothing. You can pose as authority, but you are no fucking authority. You are scum. You're filth. There is no such thing as good and bad when it comes to Slovenian police. There is only one. Scum. That's you. Filth. There you go, scum. I gave you everything I possibly could. I couldn't do more for you, scum, than what I did. When you stand up in front of me, this is who you are. You can pose as authority. You're no authority. You do have laws, you do have whatever, and yes, of course, this is what we're going to go by. This is not what I respect. This is not what I respect, but this is what we will go by. Yeah? You are here. You pose as authority in front of me, and I'm raped to follow your orders, basically. But you are no authority, you have no laws, you are a lawless country, you are a lawless nation. And yes, again, I did everything I possibly could to help you out. Look, you like those connections, you like all that stuff. Here is the Arbeit macht frei, Joy is on the top. All this stuff I did, and for the thumbnail of this video, it's going to be is known as so-called King Charles I have selected. I try to help you as much as possible. The world will have to decide. Either it will be a long delayed justice, the truth, the ethics, the justice, or it will be Slovenia. That's all there is to it. Less it's not going to be. Whether that be 1 hour, whether that be 2 hours, that'll be until tomorrow or until the next year or wherever you will be. Que será, será. But I can say that I did live and the truth was delivered to the world. World could see you scum for what you are.